Now, how on earth am I going to make this hole bigger? This is pretty stout material, and if I had a bigger drill bit than that, just a hair, I could drill through there, but I don't. I don't have one. And I used to have some reaming bits. I don't have any of those either. I gave them away last time. I gave my drill away on a tool contest before I got my new drill. So this is what I'm going to use. Look at that. This is actually a cutter tool that will cut holes from 1/4 inch or 3/16 on up to like 7/8. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to try to use that as a reamer bit for this. Okay, let's see how that's going to work. Step into my shop here. I've just got the TV here. This is the old one. And I put some pencil marks here. And I just have to ream out that hole a little bit bigger. Right there. There it goes. Maybe a little more. And we're going to see that drill bit's not supposed to be used for this, but I believe it's going to work. See that? Now I made it just a hair wide enough to slide this around where it needs to be. In fact, if it needs to go up or down a little bit, I could take this and set it there and drill out just a hair more. Okay. Hey, I like that. Okay, and I put a pencil mark right about there, see? So that's where I have to put this other one. As long as I get it close, then I should be able to swivel it into place. It's going. A little more. There. Now this drill bit costs like 40 bucks. It's a nice bit. It's used for other things. Okay, see there? Look. Nice. There's a little bit of a slop there. I'm liking that. Video camera got full, and so I had to take it back and take all my old or my new video clips and download them to my computer so I could make some more for you. Okay, so I've got 10 washers here. I'm using an 1.25" bolt first. It might be inch, but I'm going to try the 1.25" first. I'm just using these shims to fill up from the bottom up to here flush, if not just a hair further than flush, so it sticks up ever so slightly. And let's just see here. I tried just stacking them down and it didn't seem to go, and one of the washers I got was too small, but I can do it this way, like that. Now see, it seems to be going in, and I've got about a 1/4 inch slop there. I think I could maybe just use the 1 inch ones. We'll see. I've got a 1 inch right there. No. That's almost flush. I barely get any threads going, and so, you know, I might have to take a few washers on top. Let's say 3, like that. even. Maybe one even. Okay, just to take up a little bit of the slop, because I'm afraid to go down too far. I've almost got it. And it looks like I need 2 washers. I'm going to put 2 on this one. I think I'm going to take this one out. Well, I'm just afraid to get it too tight to the bottom of the threads. So that's why I got some extra washers, see? Okay, so now I've got two washers there. And then I can slide it back and forth. You know, I'll get the next one up here and see what I can do. So I got this just about snug, and I don't want to over tighten it, and I think I have just enough room for one more washer. I didn't think I was going to have. Boy, yeah, last thing I want to do is do that too tight, for fear I snap something off or start digging in to the actual TV components. Okay, so now I've got 3 on the top, 10 on the bottom. So a little trial and error, and maybe you can make your old bracket assembly work. You find a new bracket assembly at the store, and you know, they could be, I don't know, $45, $50. Possibly. And all these shims cost less than $10. Some of them I'm going to actually take back because I'm not going to need them all. Okay. Okay, that's how it's going to be, like that. So I'm going to put this one on, and the key here is to get these both lined up the same. If it's slightly off, I'll loosen this up, push it down a little bit, push this one up a little bit. I want this perfectly straight so that the TV is going to hang straight on the wall bracket. Okay, I'm going to get this one, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the bracket back on there, and I double checked that this is the top, this is the bottom here, and yes, I've got it. Before I snug it up all the way, I want to make sure this is the same. Now, if you're having a hard time measuring from up here, I can measure right there. I got 3/4, 3/4. I can measure from outside to outside is 9 3/16 overall, and I can measure up here. And that's 9 3/16 overall. Okay, now I'm just gonna make sure it's snug. That one feels good. Glad I had my ratchet set here. Now this one, I was almost tight. I seemed to have to tighten it up too much, so I ended up putting an extra washer on there. That bolt could have been just slightly 1/16 longer than the other ones, and I noticed that at the store some of them were slightly off, so I've made the adjustment there because I didn't want to drag that in too far. This is flush, and that looks pretty good, huh? And we're going to take that and we're going to mount it right back up there to the wall. All right. Let's do a mock test and make sure it fits. Now I'm sure it's going to fit and all, but the other thing I could have done was measure from tip to tip. That's 18 1/4 to see where my brackets were, and on my TV they're only, you know, 9.5 inches apart, so they're fine. And see, when this goes up, it's gonna fit over that top edge like that, and it's gonna push down, and it seems like it's gonna be fine once this gets out of the way. And that's going to be good. I made sure that my brackets held up a little bit because I could have made them about flush, not hanging down, just slightly, but I didn't want to do that because if you're in bed looking at it, you could maybe see the bottom edges. And so I've got to see how this is all going to kind of fit up in here. And this is probably I'm going to want to fit that up in here. I've got to look at my my cord for the TV, and on that cord it's got a box here, see that? And I really didn't want that box to be hanging down or have the cord plugged into the TV and then have this box go all the way down behind the dresser, because then you're going to see a black line coming down the wall, you know, from the bottom of the TV to the top of the dresser. So I'm going to have to look at that. I might take this and see if it's going to fit in there. It looks like it's, you know, I don't know if I'm going to have enough room to fit that in that pocket. In fact, I'm thinking I might not. Plus, if this is right up next to the wall, it might get too hot. I might be able to set this on top of the TV after I get this on. You know, let's see here. If I have it up there, I might have to reroute this and then kind of just set that down here of some sort. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the cords, and I think it might just be this one cord, but I'm gonna take a quick look and see how I'm gonna reroute this. I might have to set this up here and re-roll this up and maybe put a tie wrap on here so when it goes up I know it's gonna fit down in here nice. You know, just take a little bit of time. We're not in a big huge race. Okay, think about your project. Now see this cord on the Dell TV, there was enough slot behind the TV to where this was pushed tight like that and it barely fit. Well, on this particular TV it needs to be pushed in further because I don't have as much back on that TV to get my set screw up underneath there. I need just a little bit. Now how can I do that? Well, this is what I'm going to do. You see this nut right here? I have to pull this cover plate off, and then there's a nut that kind of fits into the plastic, I believe, and I think I can take that nut off or even drill that plastic hole out with my reamer bit. And so it's just a hair bigger, so I could take this and just kind of push some of it in to the hole. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.